Yeah. Yeah. Guess who came back with a large fucking fist to eat the Brooklyn blast furnace? I brought your ugly bitch with me. Your shit is sus. Ain't nobody trying to hear you talk. When Jimmy's on the mic, they take your whack shit and turn it off. It's real life, not them stories that you punks say. He made it out alive, and he's relatively unscathed. So subscribe to the podcast and share the post and tell your stupid friends to do the same. You heard it here from Coast.
All right. And we're up. Another episode. It's been about 4 months for some reason that I've done one of these episodes. I've been putting together shows and stuff like that, and busy with my daughter and stuff like that. So it just seems like I looked at the last time I did one. It was like 4 months ago, which time flies. It's crazy. But
That is a long time.
It's a long time. I used to do them weekly like a maniac, but then I would burn out. I made it almost like, I almost made it like work. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't want it to be work. I want to do it whenever I want, not stress. But I was stressing myself out. Whatever.
Yeah, well, then it's good to take a break.
Yeah, and I don't even think it was intentional. I was doing other things that I like to do, which are also music related and everything. So, if people don't already know, which you all should, this is the way I'm looking at you guys. Up to my left is my good friend Howie Abrams, and to the right is the legendary, my friend Pete Koller.
How you doing?
Hey!
We're all like, we really are like children sometimes, aren't we? Still.
Sometimes.
Yeah, really. I'm like 7 years old in my head.
Yeah, and it's a good place to be. It keeps me sane, honestly.
Me too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, me too. My daughter looks at me and she's just like, why are you like this? And she's 16. She just looks at me with, it's like, what's wrong with you? Because I act younger than her sometimes. It's ridiculous.
Well, look, we're all girl dads, so there's that.
Yeah.
And then the other thing being, I'm sure all of us get that from our daughters. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
100%. All the time. It's constant. I'm not funny anymore. I'm not. It's. She's just like what? Like she just looks at me stone faced, which makes it. She's hilarious because just the way she is. I don't know.
But your daughter, Jimmy, like goes to shows with you.
She was at the MOD show that I threw last night at Lucky 13. It was awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, man. Her first show ever was Stick to Your Guns, Cro-Mags, Terra Bane.
You know,
her first indoor. She been to like Tompkins Square Park shows, but her first indoor, legit, everyone pile on, sing along craziness was there, and she was just like, she's like, I don't really listen to it like you know, on her phone or anything, but she's the type of person like how I think that we all grew up is it's the live experience is what it's all about. And I think that she gets that somehow. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man.
With Lucy, when all this stuff happened with Lou, she's so sad and disappointed that, you know, every New York band or every band goes to Europe for the entire summer.
Yeah.
And Lucy's been coming with us since she's 5.
Wow.
So she's like used to going, you know, seeing huge festivals and saying hi to Rob Halford and shit like that.
That's so awesome, man. How old is Lucy now?
16?
13. She'll be 15. She'll be 14 in February. So.
Okay.
Would she go to a show that you have nothing to do with?
I always like going with her, no matter
right.
what it is. You know?
But like, does she ask you, like, Dad, take me to see Turnstile? Like, does she anything like that?
She has different tastes, but she also loves hardcore.
Mine
so
too.
Her favorite singer is a lady called Mitski.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that's Lucy's favorite. But just the other day, we're driving around, and she was like, "Why are the Bad Brains so great?" I was like,
"What a great question!
That's amazing.
That's awesome." Yeah.
Because you
You
asked
know what?
you.
You know what I told her? I told her because it was unbridled insanity.
It
That's
is,
what it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Unbridled musical insanity.
Yeah. I
and
love
you.
it that. Go ahead.
I think
Sorry.
we all have asked that question, right? It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's awesome that she has such like eclectic taste in music. Like my daughter does too. Like there's this. I never heard of her before. There's a singer called Ethel Cain.
oh, I don't
Oh
Never.
know
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I went to
Yeah, maybe
Radio
that's
City Music Hall. It was a whole deal. Like she wanted to go see. I was like, all right, well, I'll get tickets. I don't know. I have no idea who this is, but let's go. I had a great time. Like this was awesome. Not my style of music, but the whole vibe was super cool. But then she'll listen to like we go on like all these big, really long road trips and
Yeah.
stuff. And she's like, she'll put on her Spotify playlist, and it's like from old noisy White Zombie to Black Sabbath to Terror to Eminem. It's like it's so all over the place, which I think is great. You know?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not.
That's
I'm
the
not
way
having
to
the
be.
same experience as you
Yeah.
guys.
No?
No, she likes. I don't know if you found this, like, because it doesn't sound like your daughter's that into it, either of you guys, but like kids even in New York, because my daughter's 17, they all like country music.
You know, my daughter's not having that.
It's weird. It's not just her. It's like her and all of her friends. Like they want to go see fucking Zach Bryan and Morgan Wallen, and like she's gone to like MetLife, 80,000 people to see this stuff, and I'm like, I don't get it. Like, how did this even sort of happen?
Yeah.
And she doesn't adopt the lifestyle like with hardcore. We started dressing a certain way and things like that. She's not buying cowboy boots and a cowboy hat, but she loves the music. And to her, it's like it's the storytelling, and like she doesn't care about like the banjos and the pickup trucks. It's
Right.
not about that for her, but she likes the lyrics and the storytelling of it.
Yeah.
Because it's probably like the pop music from our day,
Sure.
similar, but the the musicianship of it is very different.
Yeah.
And but they fucking love it, and it's been for a few years. Like I thought this would be done by now, but it's not.
Yeah. I guess like she likes the lyrics. I mean, I was always a person like, yeah, the music can be great, but I'm also a lyrics person.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you talking about? It doesn't have to be super deep. Like, I like ignorant stuff, too, on purpose,
Yeah.
But then there's a certain thing. So, listen, it speaks to her on a certain level. And I always say, like I know that Howie is this gigantic Kiss fan.
Right.
And I sonically detest them. But I don't hate on Howie because he loves Kiss. He does have a cool Ace Frehley tattoo.
Yeah.
But, hey, it's like whatever you like, you like. Like, listen, enjoy it. You're not hurting nobody. That's cool.
I don't know if you saw my Facebook post, but I think it was yesterday, where I basically wrote, like, there's no such thing as bad music. There's music you don't like. There's music you even hate.
Sure.
But when all is said and done, there's no such thing as bad music. Like, there's music, like, there's an audience for fucking Yoko Ono making those wacky noises.
Oh, there sure is.
Like somebody likes that.
And you shouldn't tell someone, that sucks. You shouldn't listen to that.
Right.
If they're feeling it, hey, what can you do?
Yeah, and I learned it too
100%.
from my kid, because I really don't understand her music. Like, our parents didn't understand our music. I don't understand her music, but I would never be like, it's not music, it's garbage.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I would never say that.
No.
But it's definitely not for me. And I know I'm not the audience, for those artists or whatever, but
I mean, when my parents actually first came to see us, I think it was maybe the second Super Bowl or something like that. My dad was like, "This is like a gang fight set to music."
Yes. It's awesome.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
That wasn't the wrong thing to say.
No, it wasn't. It's like a prison riot. Those old shows at the Ritz, it looks like a prison riot.
Great.
Yeah, it's different.
Anyway,
so we have things to talk about.
We do.
We got together on this too because I mean, it all comes back to Lou, right? But we have the benefit coming up. We have some other things coming up that are concerning Lou that will help him. So, because I feel like we could have had this conversation for the next 2 hours. So
Sure. Oh, mute. Yeah.
I'm trying to save us a little bit, but I guess, everybody knows Lou has been dealing with esophageal cancer for quite a while. Thought he was out of the woods, was told he was out of the woods, and was basically in remission for a short time, and then was told that it came back. And I guess the first thing
It's
I
like
want to
only
ask
3 months.
3 months,
Like,
and
how
I
crazy
guess
is that?
I guess my understanding the treatment he went through was that all of the chemo and everything was to shrink his tumor so that he could have surgery, and then you had some more chemo to get the rest, and then but I also know that when you shrink it to that degree, the point is to not see it, right? So
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's at least a little conceivable that it was never actually fully gone, but regardless, it's there. And so everything that everyone's talked about and the GoFundMe you set up, all that stuff was for that first, bang of what he went through, and sort of here everybody is again. So, if you could tell us a little bit about his status and what the treatment is now and how he's feeling, that would be great.
All right. Well, so I went up to see him a few weeks ago up in Jersey. He's staying at my brother Matt's house. So, and Matt and his wife Connie are like saints because Matt retired early so he could live life. Okay. But now he's taking care of Lou.
Right.
He's got to be there. He's like there 24 hours a day. So Lou actually has a feeding tube because, all right, so when the cancer came back, he had 2 more tumors that were pushing his esophagus closed so the food wouldn't go in. And these tumors are on the sac of the stomach, so they can't operate on. So everything has to be done by chemo.
Yeah.
Also, he has a tumor, and I think it's on the sac of his stomach just before the intestines. So they can't operate on that either. It sucks. So everything depends on the chemo treatment. All right. So he had to put the feeding tube in because he couldn't really eat. Okay. So Matt and Connie have to change the feed bag like every 12 hours or whatever the fuck. And they have to also inject water into him because it's hard for him to drink. And he doesn't drink enough. That's not good. That's on him.
Yeah.
That guy. Someone's gonna like rough that guy up.
Yeah.
But so he needs to drink more and all that. Okay. So where he is now, he did 2 chemo treatments so far. The tumors stopped growing, which is great news. Okay, but they haven't shrunk. So he has to keep going, and I think he has to do 4 to 6 more treatments, and they're brutal, absolutely brutal. Like he's there for the treatment while he's there. I think it takes like 4 to 5 hours, and then he has to leave with he has a port in him, and that's like a chemo drip for like 24 to 48 hours more chemo. So after all this is done, he's like completely fucked up, like wrecked. But the last time he did it was just a few days ago, and usually I'll text him like, "Hey, how you feeling?" And I know he's not going to write me back for 2 days. He immediately wrote me back. He goes, "Yeah, I feel sick, but I feel pretty good." More good news.
We'll take any good news at this point.
Yeah.
Anything.
So before
And I
that,
think he said the chemo sessions are like 2 weeks apart, right?
yeah, the last one was a little bit longer, and for some reason, the enzymes in his liver were really high. And I don't know what that means. I'm just going off what he and Matt tell me. And so they had to do all these tests to figure out what it was, and what they think it was something, one of the ingredients in the chemo, I think, that made it do that. So they reconfigured, and then he did the chemo the other day.
Right.
So maybe, hopefully, it makes it even better.
Yeah.
So, but before he went into the chemo, he actually started eating like cream of wheat, that mushy stuff.
Yeah.
So he started getting that down, and then he started eating eggs.
Without the feeding tube.
He always has that in him.
Okay.
Because he can't eat enough. I don't know if you guys knew this, but before all this happened, Lou weighed like 190.
Of course.
After the first round of all this, when they said he was cancer free, he weighed 140.
What?
It
doesn't seem possible.
Yeah, really. And how tall is Lou? 6'3"?
6'1", I think.
Oh, is he? Okay.
That. So, all right. So then he's cancer free, but he's not gaining weight. He's feeling shittier, and no one's really, like, you didn't see him online. You don't see him like this. And then he went to the doctor, and the doctors were so alarmed the way he looked. They were like, "What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
you should have called. You should have said something." And he was like, "Well, I told you this and this, but you didn't tell us this." So Lou weighed 119 pounds.
What?
That's crazy. Right? That's crazy.
So as soon as they saw him, they're like, "Yo, you got to get tested." And they took him right then and there to do all these tests. And that's when they found the 3 tumors. And they were like,
wow.
Usually when you're with this cancer and you're deemed cancer free, you have like 5 years of like, you go back, you check, there's nothing going on. You go back. This was 3 months later and 3 tumors came back.
Yeah.
So they're like, what the fuck is going on? So they had to redo all this stuff. So that's why they had to put the feeding tube in and water tube and all that stuff.
Well, he said after the whole first ordeal, right? He had sort of a reconfigured stomach and like all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like he said, it's sort of not like a human stomach anymore. It's really just like this thing to make me process food.
Yeah, it's like his esophagus goes into a tube, which goes into his intestines.
Yeah. Oof. I mean, it's just crazy because and we'll get into this too, but I remember when, because we were talking to him about interviewing him for Heavy Healing for such a long time, and he was going through so much stuff, right? And so, he's like, sometimes I feel okay, sometimes I feel like shit. So it's, I don't want to say yes and then find out I feel like shit that day or whatever. So we waited until he knew he was about to have his final quote unquote scans, right? So I was like, okay, you tell me when that happens, and that's when he announced that he was in remission. And we're like, come on, let us come over right now, And we went over there 4 days later. And that's when we interviewed him. And he looked great. Like he had like the color was normal and his hair was back and he felt, pretty strong. And you guys were now talking about 2026 and coming back and like, things were starting to like accelerate. And, so we're like, man, we finally got somebody who won, like Lou won because, we had lost Ed, we lost Eddie, we lost Alexa. And so, and we're like, lose the feel good story. And then 3 months later, so we were just what the fucking fuck,
Yeah, man.
And I think that's what I said. What the fucking fuck. And, basically to hear
I
this.
Just cried. I think I just cried and like how the fuck this can't be what's happening.
Right.
This can't be happening to Lou.
Yeah.
I think we all, not just speaking for myself, but I think that it's safe to say that I can speak for, besides family, with fans literally around the world were like, how? And to my knowledge, I think I was talking with Craig and we were talking about this. Yeah.
I feel bad for you.
Who, Craig? Oh, because I was speaking to him? Craig is a cartoon character, and all I do is break Craig's chops.
And I'm sure he breaks them back.
Oh, 100%. I had him on like 5 times or 6 times on this because he loves to talk about himself, and I just play into his. I play into his bullshit all the time. Shit. So we were talking about this stuff, and he was God, I lost my whole fucking train of thought, man. What the fuck was I saying?
That Craig ruins everything.
Yeah, you see?
You're trying to say something.
Jesus Christ, it's gone. But in the middle of something else, I'm gonna wind up fucking remembering too.
You're showing your age.
Oh, I know. Listen, I'm 50. I know, but I already have the old man eyes. But oh motherfucker, man.
I have the old man memory. The only way to get it back.
It'll come back. Sorry.
Yeah, you got to forget about it. But I was going to ask Pete. You know, I'm completely blown away by not the love from fans and people.
I remember.
Oh, go ahead.
I remember.
Go ahead.
That we all know, like, correct. That Lou, like, he never was like all about, like, you guys never preached about being straight edge or anything like that. But me, all the times I've ever seen Lou, spoke to, I'd never seen him smoke a cigarette. I'd never seen him with a beer in his hand. I'd never seen him do a drug. And Craig was saying, he's like, do you know when I would see Lou drink, and that would be like on tour in France in a restaurant, and he would have a glass of wine with dinner.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, right? Is that true, Pete?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like
once in a while, drink a glass of wine.
Right, which is completely normal behavior. So that's like one of the other things that I think that everybody, myself, I was like, okay, well, listen, he's a healthy guy. He takes care of himself. He doesn't have years of drug and alcohol abuse or anything crazy like that. So maybe that's a plus. And then when he became cancer-free, I'm like, yes, that's a fucking great thing. Because maybe that factored in or one way or the other. You know what I mean? And then we
find out what a fucking nightmare it is.
Right. I was like laying in bed. I was watching a movie or something, and it crossed my mind because I saw the photos that Jamie York took when you did the heavy healing stuff, and I was like, oh, like I thought about it. I was like, I'm so happy that he's cancer-free. And I thought about it, and I'm like, I haven't heard anything lately. And the very next day was when he posted that it was back. And I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, how? Why? And why Lou?
Yeah, well, that's not to be like cliche about it, but that's the fucking thing about, something like cancer. It's absolutely true. Everybody knows somebody, right? Everybody. You probably know multiple people if it's not you, just yourself. And then, everybody's ride with it is just a roller coaster, right? So it's like, something happens and then it might be in a better place and then it's not, and then it is and it's not. And it's like, it goes on, for a long time. Some people go into remission for really long periods of time, and here's Lou's version, right? So it's just, it's crazy because we all got to know him, Pete, a little different because you grew up with him, but like we got to know him as a singer in a band we love, as this sort of healthy guy, like who's not a drinker or a drug guy or anything like that. And so it's hard to relate to him being sick in a weird way because you're just like, Lou Koller doesn't get sick. Like you don't even think he gets a cold. You know what I mean?
He's like a machine.
Yeah, because he's on stage, he's whatever. Sorry, Pete, go ahead.
But that's what kind of the band's thing was. It's like we just never stopped.
Right.
You just keep playing, and then when you finish playing, you put a record out, and then you tour for 2 or 3 or 4 years, and then you put another record out. And it was like I never thought that in one day my career would just stop.
Right.
Okay. And it's like, the band had unemployment for 6 months. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And now it's like, wow, this is brutal. And it's like,
it's not far removed from COVID. COVID did this shit to you guys too.
Just think of that. So COVID, and then things started. Oh wow, things are really good.
It's getting normal again.
Boom.
Yeah.
Terrible.
It's fucking terrible. And so what I was getting at before is this: you set up the GoFundMe for him, right? The original, time. And again, the love from the fans, all of that.
That was so
unbelievable,
fucking
right?
Beautiful to see.
But could you ever have expected that amount of money to be raised? I mean, it blew me away. I've seen so many GoFundMes before and after. I've never seen anything like it.
Speaks volumes about Lou and the band, period. Speaks fucking volumes.
every day there's a little more, you know, $2,000 here, $1 there. But that's all I'm asking is if you could just help a little bit. And I once heard that somebody said when I put out, you know, I also sell the T-shirts too and put the money in the. He has a Sweet Relief account also, and that actually pays his everyday bills and bullshit like that. So when I sell the T-shirts, I send the money over to that. And I remember someone when I put out these new shirts, someone who will be nameless is like, I ain't buying those fucking shirts. Look at all the money that guy's got.
Look at all the money.
Yeah. You know how much it must have cost for Lou to be in a hospital in Manhattan for a week straight, you know? And it's like, he does.
Sadly, I do.
Yeah. So Lou does have insurance. It doesn't pay him.
No.
You know?
And that person, I don't care who that person said that person's a jerk off. Whoever said that.
You just
what an asshole thing to say.
Yeah. I mean, you just clearly don't get it. You know,
it's a $20 shirt. Fuck you, don't buy it. You know,
right?
Cool.
Right.
But I'm sure when we start playing again, you're gonna want to be on the guest list. I know that.
Yeah, of course.
Right, yeah, right. There's that fucking clown that always pops up. Of course.
You hear that, Rat Bones?
Oh fuck! Why these Rat Bones?
Just kidding. Love you, Rat Bones.
Oh my god.
but yeah, it's kind of amazing, and like it you know, all of this, it brings me to Jimmy, because, you know, Jimmy's done a few he's done a few benefit rodeos, and, you know, and he hit me up and just said, look, I want to do something for Lou, you know, will you do this with me? And I'm like, that's a fucking given. And we're like, okay, I assume Lucky 13, because I know you have an affiliation there and they're cool and let you do whatever you want, right? Yeah. And you just needed a date. And we had no idea what bands would play.
None.
And we were just like, give me a date and we'll ask people and we'll see what happens, you know?
Yeah.
And so, you know, people now, everybody, and I'm sure, Jimmy, you've gotten this too. People are like, why don't you move it to a bigger venue? You know,
so many times. And I have to keep my short fuse, like, sometimes
I know.
Because I can be like, I just want to be like, what the fuck? They book your own.
Yeah.
Like
you can do whatever you want.
Do whatever you want. I think that there should be fucking benefit shows all over the fucking place. Not just me, Jersey, everywhere. There should be every fucking.
I have a friend from Tampa. His name is Ed, and he's setting up a show.
I saw that.
I am aware of him, and he actually hit me up, and we were talking about that.
Okay, yeah. So it's March 20th. So they're looking for bands. It's the same thing. They're giving Alleyway Dragon tattoos for $30.
Well, I'll get to that, because
that's a new development that I am very happy about, Howie.
That we found out Friday, like, so we're going to do something with Vinny and Jimmy's shop, New York Hardcore Tattoos.
Yeah.
And it's going to be sort of like Sick of It All / New York Hardcore Flash. You know, you'll pick a design, it'll be a flat price, and they're going to do it for 2 days. So they're going to do it the day before the benefit. So that's January 31st. And then the day after the benefit, which is Monday the 2nd. And so Stigma and I both already agreed that we're going to get them side by side. And so we're going to do that. But a lot of people are interested, and the people at that tattoo shop are fucking great. And, you know, they are just all in, and they're super happy to do it. And that's what I feel about, like, what Jimmy did. He's like, I've got the venue. I've got a date. Let's just go. Like, we don't have to call up promoters. We didn't have to do any of this nonsense. Here's the date. Here's the show. You want to play. And thankfully, some really good people said yes. There were a lot of people who wanted to but couldn't.
Yeah.
You know, like, so Tim Barry from Avail was like so fucking bummed out he couldn't play. Snapcase were bummed out they couldn't play. We asked all these people, you know, and
there was a lot of people in the mix at one time. Like,
and so Jimmy and I were like, you know, we don't want this to be like a fest. Those drive me nuts, like being there for like 17 fucking bands all day.
It was going to be originally 7 bands max, and it turned out to be 9.
Yeah.
But it's all right.
I think we wanted less than 7, actually.
I think we did, but listen, but it's like somebody comes in. It's like how do we say no to them if they just want to play? Like how do we say no to Stigma, or how do we say no to, fucking
Walter.
To Walter Streifels? Like, how do we say, nah, we're good, we don't need you? No,
Walter, and Walter, to his credit, was the first person to say yes with no lineup. There was no bill whatsoever. And he's like, I'm playing acoustic, and like, great, let's just do it, And I forgot who told me, like, you told me, Pete, the Go-Go Bordello people were like, like, then, we'll do whatever you want.
Yeah, and then that became, Walter also said.
And then Walter, right, you told me that Walter was interested, but the Go-Go Bordello was a scheduling thing, but Walter was like right away. And then, and Jimmy and I would laugh because I was like, why don't I just ask the guys in Life of Agony? He's like, yeah, sure, we're going to get them to play this fucking place. And sure enough, they said yes.
And then he's like, Life of Agony is in. I was sitting at work with two guys that I work at, and I get the text. I'm like, fuck yeah. They were like, yo, what's going on? I'm like, dude, I like yelled. I was like, this is fucking so good. I was like 15 all over again. I'm like, this is fucking amazing.
Well, we were like, well, the show just sold out. But like
100%. We can just leave it. But
and then I asked Carl, from Breakdown, I was like, what about you guys? And he's like, well, we would love to, but we have a show in New York City booked, and we don't want to like sort of screw the promoter. So I'm like, okay, I understand, blah, blah, blah. And I just said, well, I'll just tell you, Life of Agony is playing under a different name, because it doesn't matter. Like it's everybody's going to know. And then, Alan gave us the Bad Seed logo with the Life of Agony logo in it.
It's a bad logo seed. Yeah. It's like, and a lot of people still didn't get it.
Which is insane.
Is this a Life of Agony cover band? Yeah, a Life of Agony cover band is gonna headline over Stigma and Sub-Zero. No,
it's not a cover band. But then Carl hit me back. Like it was like a few weeks, right, Jimmy? Like a few weeks went by.
Yeah, a few.
And then he hit me up and he goes, you know what? We want to do this so badly. We don't care. Like we're just gonna do it. And if we could play under an assumed name too, that'd be great. And then Stigma said yes. So we already had Walter, and then we filled out the bill, with a few other bands, and and it just sort of worked out. And but then people start complaining, like, why are you doing it there? I was like, because the people doing it give a shit. That's why.
All right, put it this way. Here's the lineup from the bottom to the top, right?
Yeah.
So it's Sunday, February 1st, at Lucky 13, 644 Sackett Street in Brooklyn. So
doors at 2, right?
Doors are at 2. First band 3, and it's going to be quick. One of the great things about Lucky 13 is already a back line.
They have gear.
So they have gear. So all you got to do is you need to bring your heads, your cymbals, your snare drum, and your drum seat and your instruments. That's it. Easy. You're good. So it's a local band. He's a really good friend of mine. My friend Anthony Russo. He has a band called The Breed Apart. They're going to open. They have maybe 15 minutes of material, and he doesn't talk in between anything. But I will say this.
Don't give it away.
What do you mean?
Well, because you're going to be involved somehow.
All right, so I'm not going to say nothing?
I say save it.
I'm going to save it. Maybe when we shut it down, I'm not recording, I'll let you know. Because I'm excited.
Sing with bands. Let's just say that.
I do. I like to steal microphones and shit. I have a million with Lou and you guys.
I was going to say your band included.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All the time. Warren Lee's band, his new band with Layla from Concrete Ties, Nailed to the Cross, is going on second. Then we have, I think it's very fitting, also because I also wanted to incorporate, in a way, the Heavy Healing film along with this whole thing, because obviously Lou is involved in it. It's a cancer fundraiser. So I did a benefit show for Eddie Leeway, and I gave all the money to his sister last year or whatever. So there was a big Leeway tribute set that went on, like a whole jam, different members of Leeway NYC and different incarnations of Leeway with different singers doing Leeway songs. So the third act, I guess, is a Leeway tribute set, because I feel like it's fitting. Then Mike Scandato's band Inhuman, they haven't played. The last time they played, I believe, was my show at Lucky 13 9 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. Besides the one show that they did for Rich Hall.
Right.
Before that, it was like 9 years ago, Lucky 13 at my show. Then we have Walter Schreifel's Acoustic. Then we have Sub-Zero. Then Stigma. Then Breakdown, a.k.a. Sick People. And Life of Agony, a.k.a. Bad Seed. So
all in front of a mere 200 people.
All right, let me tell you something. The legal capacity in that place is like 125 people. Legal. It's gonna be like it's gonna be. Me and Jeff were talking yesterday because I was hanging out there because I had the MOD show. But we were talking about it. He's like, listen, we know it's. But I had to put a hard cap on it. I had to because where are you fitting these people? Yeah. So I don't know, Pete. You probably know that. The show sold. I put 150 tickets out online and it sold out. Me and Howie had like this little bet. I'm
we
like,
had a little countdown.
What's the under over? I say the under is going to be 2 days. He's like, yeah, definitely. I'm like, all right, so it's 2 days. I did not in a million years think it was going to sell out in less than an hour. 54 minutes, done. Then we have 50 tickets at the door. And you probably been getting hit up like crazy. I don't know how many if people hit you up about, yo, how do I get a ticket? I'm like, yo, get there at 10 o'clock in the morning, bro. Because I'm going to get there at 1. That's when the bar opens, but the doors aren't until 2. There's going to be a line there, and I'm not letting nobody in until 2 o'clock because we got shit to set up.
Yeah.
So it's going to be February 1st, and it's going to be freezing, which is another great thing. Because that means that everybody's going to be inside.
Yeah, the bar will be great.
Pack in like it's CB's in 88 and just get in.
Yep. And then you got like there's going to be some like auction items and some raffle stuff. And
I already got a whole bunch of stuff that people. I got a box today.
And Jimmy made shirts too.
Oh yeah. Hold on. Talk amongst yourselves.
Oh, do you have them in the building?
They're right behind me. I'm in my bedroom, bro.
No, I know. I didn't know if you picked them up yet or what.
They got delivered to my house.
All right.
So what I did.
Only selling these at the show.
50 shirts done only at the show. People like, yo, can you mail me one? But nah, bro.
No.
Unless you're at Lucky 13 on that day, you beat.
That's it.
I may or may not have given one to my daughter.
Fair enough.
All right. So what I wanted to do.
49 shirts will be sold.
Yes.
Correct. I'll take it out of her allowance. I'll teach her what it's like to be like an adult to spend money.
That's how you do it.
Yeah. She'll be like, oh, she would be pissed. All right, so I wanted to incorporate a couple of different sick of it all things. Obviously the dragon, and I was a big fan. One of my favorite album covers is the Call to Arms cover, the dude with the flag. I always loved that cover for whatever reason. It's simple. It's just I loved it. So what I did was, I don't know if it's gonna be backwards. So I did this is the front left chest. It's small. So I put a cancer ribbon instead of Sick of It All Dragon and the dragon behind it. But on the back, it's kind of incorporated 2 records, obviously, the Call to Arms. And in the back, I don't know, you can't really see it, but behind it, it says, when life's not fair, true friends will always be there with the date. Big on the back.
Nice.
Right?
Nice.
Yeah, I think it's clean. It's not too busy. I'm a big fan of, don't we all like black T-shirts? That's my whole wardrobe. Black and gray and white.
Only $500 each. Isn't that great?
Yeah, that's it. Rare item. Super rare item.
That was another thing. Jimmy had to talk me off the ledge about the ticket price.
Oh, this guy.
Because he's like, look, we need to charge $50.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I don't know anybody who wants to buy a $50 ticket to a hardcore show. I just don't. Like, I feel like that's scary. And we shouldn't do it. He's like, you're crazy. And he talked me right off the ledge. And then, as he just said, like 45 minutes later, they were gone.
Yeah.
But I was.
Yeah, he texted me. He's like, I think I might have finally warmed up to the idea of $50. I'm like, dude, it's $50. Like, you get a ticket. Like, I went to go see Vinny Stigma's 70th birthday.
Once you pay the fees, it's $50.
Once you pay the fees, it was like $46. 3 bands.
Yeah.
This is for Lou. You have Life of Agony in an intimate setting. You have 7 bands, and it's a cancer fundraiser. $50, dude. And I didn't do like 50 advance, 65 at the door. 50-50. That's it. That's it.
Yeah. So now you know I'm not really a fucking show promoter because that freaked me out. But
There was one other person that was like, $50 is a little bit much for Lucky 13. And I the same thing I told you, I was like, no,
but you can't look at it that way.
You can't.
It's a benefit for Lou. That's it.
Right.
Wherever it is, whatever it is.
And if you can't afford it,
well, where are you ever going to see Life of Agony? All these bands in a nice tiny little.
Well, that's the experience, and that's what, like, to me, if we'll get into this maybe, but like, this is the whole thing with the internet generation stuff, right? Is you have to have the experience, right? It's not about like what your playlist is on Spotify and all that. Go see live music because it's different every fucking time. So like, I feel like this experience, you're not having this ever again. You're not even going to see Breakdown in a 200-seat.
No.
And so let alone Life of Agony. And it's like, and that was the thing too about the big venue. I feel like if we tried to do this in a bigger venue, a lot of bands wouldn't say yes because it would fuck with their next New York show, right?
So
because they'd be like, well, we can't play Irving Plaza because we want to headline Irving Plaza, in 3 months. And, and it's like,
but we're playing the Monarch. And
right.
It's like,
and I don't know if we would have gotten these bands.
Right.
But Pete, I wanted to ask you, like, what the hell are you doing with your time? You must be losing your shit.
Well, between crying and contemplating suicide.
Yeah.
Stop.
2 or 3 jobs, bullshit, garbage, wasting my life.
Okay. But Lou says you're writing music.
Anyone working for a living is not living.
Right.
Okay? I know everyone in the world works for a living, but if you actually like your job, as they say, it's not working.
Far and few between.
Yeah.
So this part of my life sucks.
It's got to be shocking.
Yeah.
But I've also, for a while, I've been writing.
Yeah, that's what Lou told me.
A lot of songs. All right. And I think now I have 30 new Sick of It All songs. And I've written lyrics to maybe half of them. And I recorded drums, bass, guitar, vocals, and backups and sent it to all the band members.
Nice.
And now I'm waiting.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting. I talked to Jerry, our producer and engineer dude.
Shout out to Jerry Foley.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was like, why doesn't me, Armand, and Craig, let's just record all the music as if Lou's ready to sing. And then when he's ready,
just jumps in.
Yeah.
I mean, as a fan, I love that idea.
I love that idea too. And you know what? It's a shame because it's a shame you weren't there, but obviously you're down in Florida. But I was at Nova Studios when you guys were recording Wait to Sleep and Drag, and I was doing gang vocals. And it was a shame you weren't there.
Oh, is that why it sounds like that?
Yeah.
So
you're day jobbing it and just fucking being dad and husband.
Yeah. May and Lucy love that I'm here.
Yeah, I'm sure. They're not used to that. Like,
even if I'm working twice a day, they're like, "Where are you? When are you coming home?" It's like, what if I was on tour for a month?
Yeah,
that you being home could have backfired tremendously.
Well, how about May as well? I mean, she's always on the road with you guys.
Right, she's
going
home
crazy too.
Yeah. May hurt her back touring, and she's basically out of the game because of that. Like her back is really fucked up.
Yeah.
Like some mornings she can't even, like walk.
Back's the worst.
Yeah, so she's doing like a couple of her discs are missing and shit like that in her spine. So she's working on it, and
I hear you.
She's going to pain management, and there might be this operation and there might be this procedure. So we'll see what happens. But
that's all you need is more fucking procedures in your vicinity with people. Jesus Christ!
Yeah, it's getting old sucks.
I went to the doctor the other day just to get a checkup, and they were like, "Your blood pressure is really high."
Oh,
I was like,
fuck you, doc.
I was like, "Let me tell you what's going on in my life."
Yeah, I'm a little stressed.
And then they were like, "Oh, we understand."
Yeah,
We get it
get
now.
it.
Like there's a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was there. That's out of my mind for even just fucking being.
Yeah.
Well,
So
that was not going to get you in our movie. There's not enough wrong with you.
Oh my God.
I'm I'm doing what I have to do, and I always say none of the shit matters as long as Lou gets better. I'll
Right.
fucking work 10 fucking jobs and still not be able to pay my bills, but I'll keep working to do it. As long as Lou.
I mean, again, back to the blowing me away part. It's like so many people feel that way. It's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, and I've seen all kinds of people, celebrities, just normal people get sick, things happen to them, whatever happens, they get in car accidents, whatever it is. The outpouring for Lou is absolutely
Yeah.
unlike anything I've ever seen. And I mean, on
Same
any
here.
level.
Same here.
I think it's because we've been part of. Same thing with AF, but we came along at a time when there was a resurgence in hardcore, and you
Yeah.
guys remember how fucking big it got, and it was
Yeah.
still underground.
Yeah.
We were selling out, 1018 and shit
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
And it was like we were part of people's lives from when they were in high school. We were their band.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
stuck with us. So now they're in their 50s and 60s.
I.
We're completely a huge part of their life.
But you know what?
Yeah.
It's more than that, because it is all of that, but it's also you guys as people and the way that you guys have treated people and related to people and have been accessible.
Yeah.
And people, it may be hardcore. So like we look at it like, well, that's how people are supposed to be, but it's like they're not.
They're not.
And I did a whole thing with Mark from MAD, and he's like, bands would come over and just hang out backstage, and never leave the dressing room. And they didn't become a part of the fabric of these countries and these cities that they would visit. And that you guys would do that. And going to the merch table, after your set, that's not something you planned as a marketing scheme.
Right.
It's just something you did.
Yeah.
And people have felt that for decades.
Yeah.
And so I think it's beyond you guys as far as a quality band that people have been with all this time. And that's all 100% true. Like you've not let anybody down as a band musically, or anything. But it's the amount of people that have had contact with you guys. And so like when Lou got sick, they were like, my friend got sick.
100%.
And they felt that way. And so I think that's just such a huge part of it, because I think there are other bands that, you could call them peers of Lou's or whatever, and they didn't raise money like that.
No.
It wasn't so overwhelming. And then like the bands, donating absurd amounts of money,
Sure.
and it was when I started to see that, and then more bands and all that giving, like 5 figures and things like that. And I'm like, holy shit, look at the love going on here. And, look, obviously we've done this movie called Heavy Healing, which is about people, all kinds of shit happening to them, illnesses, sickness, medical stuff, mental health stuff, all of it. Everybody's got a completely different story.
Yeah.
But, they all talk about the gratitude, around them and the people that supported them in whatever way it was, whether it's financially, whether it's emotionally, just that all of it's necessary, Lou's a big part of the story. And, he talks about and he tears up, you'll see it, but, just kind of couldn't come to grips with not just what happened to him, but the reaction, and the way that people have been to him and done for him. And he talks about your brother and needing to be closer to where the chemo was. So your brother just stepped up, and then on top of it, just needed to be, with somebody all the time because they had to do all this care for him. And it's just, I don't want to say he's got the right attitude because I can't imagine having to have any attitude about something like this.
Right.
But he's like taking it in stride and he's appreciating everything that people are doing for him and he's fighting for it. And he wants nothing more than to be fucking next to you on stage doing that shit again.
Yeah.
And it's kind of amazing. And there's just so many people in that boat.
Yeah.
So like the big thank you thing we wanted to do, if this didn't come back,
Yeah.
we wanted to do a huge free show in New York, and that was the plan, and that
Right.
was going to happen sometime next year. And our whole mindset was like, okay, 2026, 40-year anniversary of Sick of It All. A new record would have been out, and the return of Lou. I was
Right.
like,
Perfect.
they're like,
Amazing.
tear it up, and people are going to love it, and we're going to do this show and that show. And then when, I found out a few days before the world did, and I was just in tears.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually,
It's got to be hard to believe.
Yeah, because all right, this was coming right off of like not very long after going to Eddie Sutton's wake. I wanted to do something, and when I was getting the people together to do the Leeway tribute set, I texted Lou, and I was like, "Yo, I know that you're not a sing-songy guy like Eddie's voice was, but maybe you could do like, would you want to be down? Because I checked your tour schedule and you guys were good, so I didn't want to break his chops if, dude, like it's on Facebook, like we're going to be in Czechoslovakia or something. So I asked him, and he usually got back to me within like a day or two. Whenever I don't break your brother's chops, but I'll text him every once in a while. And then it was about a week later, maybe 10 days. And he was like, "What's up, Jim?" He's like, "I'm not avoiding you or anything like that." So I appreciate it. And then he was like, "I went for a test and they found something." And I didn't say this. And then it was probably a few days later when he made the initial announcement.
Yeah.
Uh,
And when he told me that, I'm just like, what the fuck, man? And going back to like, go ahead, I'm sorry.
The way all this happened, the way we found out, it was like we flew over to Germany for a weekend. We did 2 shows, 2 festivals that we headlined. And me and Lou are always together. We've been sharing hotel rooms since 19, God knows what. And he gets in and he's like, fuck up, Mark. The fucking plane food really messed me up. So I said, here, take this. It didn't work. And a good trick is if you eat a little toothpaste, it immediately goes away, heartburn. Did that, nothing happens. So whatever. We play the show, still really bad heartburn. He's having trouble eating. He doesn't feel like eating. Then we do the next show. Then we fly home. And then he called me a few days later. He goes, "Yo, I went out to eat with my daughter, and all the food just stayed like in my chest, and I could feel it." So he like spit it up, and he was like, "I gotta go to the doctor." And then that's when they found the tumor, and then he had to have the biopsy and all that. And then
Right.
a few days later, he called me. I was like at shopping with Lucy and May. He called me when I was there, and I was just like, it didn't hit me there, but it hit me later on.
Yeah.
And the second time around, I'm 100 times worse. Okay.
Right.
And when he told me all this shit, I went up to New York, went up to Jersey, and spent a week with him. And my brother Matt, he takes care of Lou, but in reality, I know Lou, and my brother Matt even said that because it was like I'm sitting there with him, and I take the guitar off the wall that's there, and I'm just sitting there and playing. I said, "Oh yeah, check this part out," and I'll play something, and you can see the color in his face coming, and he was like, "That's okay."
Yeah.
Like, "Oh yeah, that's one of my new songs." Oh, cool. And started playing some of my new stuff. Yeah, listen to this. This is how the lyrics go to this. And I was like, and he was like, yeah, and you could see color and a real smile.
Yeah.
And he was like, so there's your heavy healing. Like right
Well, it's the
there.
inspiration, right? Like
as soon as I was just like, yeah, that's a good name, Heavy Healing.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
No, because it's and you'll see like there's a version of something similar with so many of the people in the movie, like Alexa, right? So she said in the movie, "Bad brains are my happy place." You know, that like that's when, because she was like, I don't know if I needed it so much for like motivation, because I was gonna go to chemo, and if it wasn't working, I wasn't gonna go to fucking chemo. That was her attitude about it. And because she was very far along and it was stage 4 and it was really tough and inoperable. But she's like, that was my happy place. It opened me up, it made me feel better. And like you saw it, like even as she's saying it, you saw a whole different look, right? And when Eddie was talking about uh, making more music and playing shows, and so talking about the future as opposed to like how sick I am and like the things that I've been through and what it's like to go to chemo and you know um, people use it, and it's like this music that we were told as kids isn't music. It's stuff that was on the news, like kids are killing themselves with Judas Priest tapes in their pocket, and it's like no, 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 no. People are saving their own fucking lives with this shit. Like whatever it is, like it's motivation for physical therapy, to keep going to chemo, to stay alive on any level, and again, it's all kinds of different ailments, but we have a PhD that sort of explains like what it actually does to you, and so you put it all together and like it's a fucking godsend. It's like the most positive thing in the world.
100%. And it's like and it's like how many people could actually say I'm one person as like this angry teenager from having like this fucked up childhood, didn't know really how to process it because I'm a know-it-all and I'm indestructible and I'm on a tear in my late teens and early 20s and I'm angry at the world and I have a chip on my shoulder for whatever reason, and you put on that fucking song and it gets you through shit, or you just having a fucked up day and you throw on fucking My Revenge and you just fucking let that shit go, you know what I mean, and you just fucking yell. Or that like I was going through a really bad fucking time probably about 10 years ago. And I was at work, and I had my fucking headphones on. I had a playlist on, and Sheer Terror, Owe You Nothing came on. And it's just such a fucking, get it through your thing so I don't fucking owe you a thing. And it's just, I'm screaming like a maniac on the night shift in an elementary school like a fucking lunatic to this song. But you know what? When I was done, I felt so much fucking better. It's like the angriest fucking Sheer Terror song, but I was breathing afterwards. I was pissed, and you get it the fuck out. And that's, I mean, a lot of people know like, the people that are going to watch this stuff, they all feel that. I mean, you have a shitty day of fuck. Back in on the New York City 91 fucking VHS tape, Lou even says it, You're pissed off at your boss, whatever. You go on there when you fucking get it out. And that's what it is. And it just gets people through a lot of shit.
That's what's saving me when I'm doing these 2 shitty jobs.
Yeah.
Put my headphones on, fuck it.
Are you listening to Sick of It All?
It's in the playlist.
Yeah.
But I don't want to say it, but it makes me sad.
Yeah. I understand.
You know what I mean?
I understand.
When it comes on, I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I can't wait to play again.
But listen, there's and again, I'm no motivational speaker here, but at the same time, it's like there's no reason at this moment to think you're not going to do it again. Like you have no idea. And so it's just as likely that you get it all back as not, and, we'll all see, like, we don't know, but at this moment, that's, as a friend, that's what I say to you, that basically don't give up on it coming back. And all of that.
Never give up.
Right.
No.
And
not even an option.
No. And I think that's another way to cope, is that, to see what's in front of you. And like listen, I could have been in this fucking movie because I have crippling anxiety and I have mood shit. And one of the best things that I can ever do for myself is look at the next thing I'm going to do, right? The next thing that's going to be like fun or interesting or something,
I'm
and
guilty of
not
the same
dwelling.
thing. I'm guilty
Yeah,
of the same thing, dude.
because anxiety is a what if, right? It's a basically like, well, what if this happens? And it's like, well, you can ruin your life thinking that way. It's
Yeah.
like, and so it's really about just what good thing is going to happen next, and you kind of have to do that for your sanity. And
That's why I wrote Jerry today. I was like,
right,
Jerry,
let's get
now,
started.
you know I got all these songs. You're like, okay, I got January and February open. What do
Right.
you guys want to do?
Do an EP, do something, right?
Is that actually a possibility? Are you could actually do that?
It all depends on what Craig and Armand are doing, because we all have jobs now, and it's like, if that's what's keeping your family afloat, it's going to be hard for me to fly up and rehearse with the bands and pay my bills. You know what I mean?
Sure, of course.
Because if I ain't at work, there ain't nothing coming in.
Right.
But we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But it's just the cliche, but the whole thing is just so heavy, right? Because like we think about these people, and we can't possibly know what they're going through, but you feel for them like to such a degree, and you want to do whatever you can. I can't even imagine what it's like to be you, Pete. It's different, being so close.
I'll just be driving home, and then I'll just start crying.
Yeah.
And I ain't joking.
Yeah.
And it could be the happiest thing. I'm watching TV, and then why am I feeling happy? My brother has this, and then.
Yeah, but you can't torture yourself either. You know what I mean?
I know, but
you can't
I get
do
it.
that.
I mean, I get it. I mean, fuck, man.
it's good having Lucy and May around.
Yeah.
It's good to have family.
Yeah, and your brother is doing like such a fucking mitzvah for him, and like really just taking care of business and like being so good to him, and and it's been a long time already too. I mean, he was doing this the whole first round, and
Now
I went.
It's a little bit worse now.
Yeah, because I went to see him in the hospital after he had the surgery, and and just hearing like what was involved, and that was like the first round where like maybe he's at the tail end of he's going to be better soon, and he was for a little bit, but it sounds like this is much more intensive, and there's a lot more involved, and a lot more to pay attention to.
Yeah.
Oh God! See, now we have to all go drink.
I don't drink.
I don't either.
I don't drink. Oh, look, all three of us.
None of us drink.
We're not fun.
Where'd the fun go?
Yeah. Nah, that's a party. It's a long time ago. You know what? I wanted to because obviously, not to be cliche, this is very heavy. I wanted to ask you because it's just going around in my head. You talking about accessibility to the guys and whatnot. When was the first time you met Lou, Howie? Your first, because I know mine.
Yeah.
Like on a like not just as great show, dude, blah blah blah. Like as something different. So I just wanted to hear that, like get some lighthearted good shit,
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure.
I'm trying here.
Yeah, I hear you. Like, so Pete, I'm sure, was next to him. So I don't think there's such thing as Lou without Pete, even at that time.
Okay.
And so I met them before there was a Sick of It All. And, basically they won't remember this, but I would see them on the train. I mentioned this in the book that I would see all of your whole crew would get on the train together to go to a show. So like whether it was CB's or something at the Ritz or whatever, we had to take the same train. But I got on at 179th Street and Hillside Avenue, the first stop. So I was already on the train, and then you guys would get on. And I guess like the car that I would get into was roughly at the same place you would get into the train car. And, like back then, if anybody you saw looked like they liked hardcore or like underground metal, you'd be like, oh yeah. You're like, than one of us, you know. Like
Howie, did you have your big luxurious mane at that time?
yeah, I was at least on my way to it, right?
The
So
big,
like
yeah.
yeah, and I had like I had a Misfits painted denim jacket with "I Die My Darling" on it. That
Hard.
Billy that Billy Arbizu from SFA, who I went to school with, I don't even know if there was an SFA, and like he was the jacket painter guy, and so he would paint the jackets, and so I'd see these guys, and then Danny Loker happens, right? So
Oh,
Danny Loker
fuck.
knows all of us, and so we got introduced. We all sort of got introduced in front of CB's, and so again, like I met Pete and Lou. I met probably Armand. Craig, I knew already through Danny because he was his neighbor.
Yeah.
So like we would go to Craig's apartment and like be in his bedroom and like smoke weed and like listen to them play like new Crab Society songs, you know, and like
Nice.
on a tape case, you know,
Yeah.
and so do all that shit, and then so then
Crab
the connection
Society.
is like so that Danny and Craig, and then there's Pete and Lou, and this it all just starts to fill in. And I remember the other May, right? She was always around, and there was like Mike Stankiewicz, right? And like there was a few people that were like the alleyway-ish people, and I didn't know what that was at the time. I just knew that they were all from kind of like Flushing. And, we were Queens guys that went to hardcore shows that were like metal guys turned on to faster music. And, basically now there's the New York bands and we're all like, what's this agnostic front? I think I was talking to Lou also, and that we all kind of saw AF for the first time in the same show.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Howie, I have a question. Were you at that Venom show in Staten Island?
100%. I was at the All Ages show.
So was that before the AF show?
Oh, yeah. That was at least a year before.
Yeah, so we were there too.
Yeah, because then we caught up on all that stuff, right? So it was sort of like, it was like, did you go see Metallica and Raven, at Lemoore East? And then, were you at Staten Island for Venom and Metallica? I was like, yeah, I went to the All Ages show. I was like 15, whatever. And so there was all those shows that was like, yep, I was at that one. And then you guys are like, Priest and Maiden at the Palladium. Yeah. Like,
I'm 50 years old and I feel like the new guy right now.
Well, it's a funny thing because those memories are amazing, right? So
Sure.
You discovered a new band every fucking week, right? Like there was something new you didn't know about, whether you were reading Kerrang magazine or Metal Forces or,
Rip
going
magazine.
or going to Bleecker Bob's and seeing a flyer or, the Lemoore ads, or you would call, right?
Call
Lemoore and it would give you all the shows for the coming weeks. If you went to a CB's matinee, they handed you the thing with like what's happening for the next week. Yeah. So you already knew, we would go to matinees. I think you and Lou did the same thing. You would just go, it didn't matter who was playing.
No.
Right. So if it's like 4 bands from Connecticut, you just show up anyway.
The reason being is because you didn't fit in school.
Yeah.
But you fit in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how many bands I just. Yeah, 100%.
You all just met up there.
Yeah. You know how many bands I discovered, quote unquote, by accident, just by going to a show and
just show up.
That's how I discovered Leeway.
Right.
At Lemoore's. My first show ever, speaking of the benefit and assumed names, but my first show ever at Lemoore's was a band under an assumed name. And it was Anthrax under Satan's Lounge Band.
Satan's Lounge Band, right?
Yeah. And that's how I found Leeway. White Zombie, Leeway, Suicidal. I went there to see Suicidal. Leeway came on, blew me the fuck away. Went the next day, bought Born to Expire, and the guy was like, if you like this, then you'll like this. He sold me AF, Live at CBGB's, Liberty and Justice, and then after that, I went out and I bought on cassette tape Blood, Sweat, No Tears. My first 4 cassette
I put
tape.
some of those out. Yeah.
Yeah, you might have. Yeah.
But that's the thing. I did a fanzine, and that's how I discovered Leeway, because they sent me the demo, the Enforcer demo.
The Enforcer demo.
To review it, and so and it was from Jose, who wasn't in the band much longer, and It was his address for Leeway and everything. And
Yeah.
it just, but that goes back to my point about just be fucking involved. Like,
Yeah.
it's not about listening to music on discovering it on Spotify. It's like, yeah, if a new album comes out by a band you like, it's an easy way to listen to it. But,
Sure.
are you really going to discover new music that way? You're not.
No, you're not.
You
So
know?
my little quick story, mine's nowhere near as in depth as yours, but like I said, there was always like, "What's up, Lou? How you doing?" Blah blah blah. Quick, before a show, I'm not going to break your chops. You have a show to play. After the show, you're exhausted. I'm not going to be the quote unquote fanboy, annoying kid asking dumb questions. You know what I mean? I'm not going to do that. But it was actually kind of late when I considered me and Lou like become friends. It was in 2009, and it was me and my ex-wife. We went to Mike Scandato's old store, the Brooklyn Monster Factory, the comic book toy store that they had with his brother John of Lament fame, right?
Yeah,
so I still have the demos.
A Sick of It All drummer was in Lament.
Correct. So I'm in there, and I needed to use the bathroom to take a piss, and my ex-wife was in there, and she was about 6 months pregnant with my daughter. And I go into the bathroom, take a piss, I come out, and Lou is in there. I'm like, "Oh shit, what's up, man? Blah blah blah. Nice to meet you." I introduced to my ex-wife, and he was like, "Oh," and he rubbed my ex-wife's belly. I'll just never forget that. Oh, congratulations, blah blah. And right from there, I was just like, I always had a feeling, but like he was just, how we were talking before about accessibility and just being normal, down to earth, normal people, no rocks or ego bullshit. It was just cool. And then you guys were about to play the Gramercy Theater. It was Inhuman. That band, Capital, Bane, and you guys. And Lou had mentioned that you guys needed a flyer for it. And I went, "I can make you a flyer." He's like, "Yeah?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like 3 days later, I sent him the flyer, and I made that flyer for that show. And that was the day that I discovered Bane. You go back to that. But then, like, next thing you know, like, we exchanged numbers, and, like, my daughter is born, and I'm not talking to Lou about anything about music or anything like that. Like, we were actually texting each other because Aurelia was very young, right? So we were texting each other about, I was like, "Yo, I think my daughter has like a milk allergy. I have this like a different kind of infamil formula and this and that." We're talking about baby formula. Me and Lou, I'm like, this is so weird. Like, I grew up with this man, like my favorite hardcore band. I'm talking about baby formula. And then I sent him like a picture of my daughter in like a Sick of It All onesie and this and that. So it's like, so that's how it happened. And it's just like, ever since then, it's like every time I hear his t-shirt, all kinds of shit. But just always just a good fucking dude, man. And when all this shit happened, I was like, what the fuck is going on, man? Like,
one of the ways Lou and I have stayed in touch over the years is just sending each other wacky kiss shit. And
okay.
We just send each other like, either like Gene Simmons being an asshole or like, one of the guys in the band falling on stage or like just like goofy kiss shit. And cause we just, we're like the two Kiss fans that, like to talk about Kiss, and we love Kiss and we don't care.
Right.
And
so, you shouldn't.
Yeah, and then like we talked about Kiss in the book, and like you told the record breaking story and like all this shit. But like there's always these common bonds that are just ridiculous. It's like, what are we going to talk about? Victim in Pain all day? It's like,
really.
It's like, but like Kiss stuff, like wacky Kiss shit. It was like a great like bonding thing, and like out of nowhere, like so when he was going through all of his shit and chemo, whatever, I'd be like, I'd find some dumb Kiss shit to send him or like whatever, just to like think about anything else, Yeah.
And my initial bonding.
Kiss was a good thing.
Yeah, me and my initial bonding with Lou was over baby formula.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm saying. It's like cool. Baby formula, Kiss, whatever.
Yeah.
Hilarious. But it's by the way, I didn't even tell you, Jimmy, you have a little cameo in Heavy Healing.
Let me guess. It's either at an AF or a Sick of It All show.
Nope. You're barking up the right tree, but it's neither band.
Really? Fill me in.
You are at the Grand Victory watching Leeway.
The Eddie Leeway show, that comeback show.
Yeah.
Did they play with Yuppicide that night?
I think so. I don't even remember who else played the show, but like,
yeah. Oh, I remember it.
Jamie has all this footage like I didn't know he had.
There's a couple of pictures that I seen that he took of me at that show. I'm in the crowd, like.
Yeah. But you're right up front singing with Eddie. It's just the two of you basically.
I used to steal his microphone all the time too,
and
ruin his songs.
There's footage of Pete. Do you remember when Lou like really spiked up his hair all punk rock?
Yeah.
He had like really dark black, and he had all kinds of products.
That's why I thought he was 6'3".
Yeah, so he had footage of you guys playing. I think it's Irving Plaza. It's either Irving or Webster. I think Irving, and Jamie just had the footage, you know. So we wanted to use live footage, and we're like, man, we don't really have money to be paying people for shit like this, and you know, like there's all this stuff on the internet that people have seen. And he's like, oh, I have fucking sick of it all footage. We're like, what? Why didn't you tell me this before? And so he whips out, you know, Leeway footage from the Grand Victory, which is great because it's this super intimate, you know, little thing.
So
and then
fun.
He has this great footage. There's a still photo he also has from that show where Lou's like up front. He's got his arm extended to the crowd with the mic, and you're under his arm. And it's amazing. It's like this incredible photo. I'm like, why didn't you break this stuff out before and say, I have this? Like, you know, by accident, I'm sort of seeing it because we were like, do you have live footage? Do you have stills so we don't have to pay anyone else? And, you know, whatever. And he just broke all the shit up. But then I was like, man, you're in it. Like I don't know what song they're playing, but like Eddie's like doing his thing and you're right like in front of him. You're the only person in front of him.
Yeah.
And it's really great footage.
Yeah. Awesome. I can't wait. You have a screening?
Yeah, we just announced today our very first screening is happening.
I'll be there. It's on a Thursday, right?
No, it's a Saturday.
It is a Saturday. I'm getting to you're right. I'm getting
it's a Saturday. So we're just like we're submitted for some film festivals now, and like we're waiting on that. You know, we just got rejected by Slam Dance. Thank you very much. And, you know, so these things are totally hit or miss. And it's very much like anything else. It's a who you know fucking thing. Sure. And so, you know, we didn't know anybody involved with Slam Dance, even if Paul Rackman started the whole fucking thing. But whatever. So,
hey, what can you do?
Not shitting on anybody, but whatever. Right. So it's like I feel like a band that didn't get the tour we wanted. You know what I mean? And so we started booking some screenings. We're working on some others for March and April, and we have one coming up, our very first ever, the big world fucking premiere, on January 10th at the Bruce Museum in Greenwich, Connecticut. And you know the way that came about was the woman who does the events at the museum like grew up with Seth, who's the sort of inspiration for the film, Seth Abrams, and also Kat Marino, whose shirt you're wearing.
Yes.
And so they all went to school together. So she does the events at this museum. There you go. And basically was like, we'd love to screen it at this museum I do the events at, and they do these like monthly events. So they're doing like a wellness, mental health Saturday, and they're making us a part of the program. So there's going to be like poetry stuff and art stuff and all these things going on, and we're going to be part of it. Awesome. Our first screening, so it should be pretty interesting, and it's at a like a real deal art museum,
Yeah,
and
it's in my calendar.
I'll set one up in Daytona.
I would love to do that because what's going to happen?
I'll road trip. I don't care.
We're working on something for the summer in Orlando. So if we can do that, we'll just do others in Florida, And
there actually is a lot of cool places here that.
Yeah, I bet. Stuff. And it doesn't have to be huge either. Doesn't have to be like that kind of thing. But we're working on Philly. We're working on something with Bridge 9 in Beverly, Mass. We're going to be. It looks like in April we'll be at the Punk Rock Museum.
Awesome.
Screening the movie, and then there's some other opportunities that maybe it's a little too early to say out loud. I don't want to jinx anything, but there's some cool shit coming up, and we're trying to do these as like like concert events, like hardcore shows, like, and just like work with promoters, like, who do this in their town. And it doesn't have to be a theater necessarily. It just has to be somewhere where it'll look good. And, the screen isn't, just some shit projector or something, like it's got to, like, you have to have a screen. We appreciate that. We'll try to show the trailer at the benefit on February 1st.
I think it would be perfect right after
by Walter.
Right after Inhuman, before Walter.
Because it'll be quiet, there's no sound check. Yeah. And so
be perfect.
So yeah, and like, Lou's a big part of the movie, and he comes off great, and he really tells his story. Like, so where you left off, Pete, with like what was going on when you got back from Germany, that's where he starts, right? So he tells the story about not feeling well over there and not being able to eat and being like, I probably should call a doctor, and then from there, and the beginning of the trailer, starts with they found something, and it's him saying it. And it's pretty intense because there's so many people telling these stories. And one thing we want to do, and this was Jamie's idea, was we have so much footage that we couldn't use, because the interviews were like 90 minutes, 2 hours, whatever. And it is just, there's barely even 10 minutes of each person, Right. So we were like, we're going to take a few people and do like a half hour of just them. So we're going to do that with Lou and like make available, and he could do whatever he wants with it. Like a 30-minute version of him telling the story. And we'll include live footage, and we'll do stuff and still photos and things like that. And we want to do that with a few people. We're going to do that with Eddie, for sure. Eddie, we offered the footage to Alexa, to Aviva, just to have it. But like, Jamie followed Alexa around while she was dying, basically, and like just documented it. And we gave it all to Aviva, and then we've offered. We gave the footage actually to Eddie's sister. We just gave all the raw footage, like just have it, like so you can see him talking about his future and what it felt like to go through what he was going through. And Pete would be great. I mean, Lou would be great because Lou's like super articulate and he was very candid, and it's
he always has a way to make kind of light of a shitty situation.
Yeah.
There
was one thing
he put up on Instagram. He's like, hey, it's like he said something. It's like I have Homer Simpson's head on my chin because he has like two hairs on his chin, and it's just like you can't help but like laugh and like feel for him at the same time. It's like, man.
Yeah, we were giving him shit about like because he finally just said out loud, "I dye my hair."
Yeah.
And because he's all gray and the whole thing, and we're like, it looks normal, like with the right lighting, you look like one of those youth crew kids, like when they used to dye their hair.
They used to frost their hair. Nice.
I was like, that's kind of what you have going on right now.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, surprise, I fucking dye my hair. And
hilarious. When I was up there, he had like this big afro looking thing, and I sent the picture home to May. She was like, "He needs a fucking haircut." So she contacted Mike Gallo.
Yeah.
Mike Gallo drove out there and gave Lou a haircut.
Gave him a haircut.
Nice. Yeah. Shout out to Mike Gallo.
Well, the first time I saw you guys, the very first show, and the second show at Right Track Inn, he had like that like Bon Scott hair.
Yeah.
Like that was kind of his style.
I have a photo of him, and I think it's from CDs, and he has kind of regular hardcore guy hair, but he's wearing like a denim jacket, and denim pants.
Oh, Canadian tuxedo.
Yeah, and he looks just like Bon Scott. It's like,
what's going on here, Lou?
He's wearing that at the second Right Track In show.
Okay, so that's
so he's like Bon Scott from the neck up, and from the neck down, he's like when Justin Timberlake wore that full denim outfit.
Yeah.
I gotta see this. This is awesome.
Oh, the photo's online somewhere.
Is it? Okay.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have to start digging.
Yeah, it's visible and it's really something.
Yeah, it's something. Oh man.
Yeah, but like just I try to put a little positive energy in the air every day.
You have to.
You have to. And and I'm happy to say last time I communicated with him, he sounded better. Like he was in better spirits than.
When was this? Time. How long ago did you speak?
That was only like a week ago, and I spoke to him maybe 2 weeks before that, and he just seemed a little down. And you never know, like when he's just had chemo or I just ask him how he is. Like I don't even.
I text him every once in a blue. Like I think the last time I texted him was to let him know that the show sold out in under an hour. We had a little bit of back and forth, but I leave him alone because he's probably, I don't know. Is it wrong to assume that he's getting bombarded from all angles from everybody?
I've got to imagine there's some of that.
And I don't want to be that guy.
Right.
But that's just keep writing him.
Yeah.
And every day I write like, "Hey Lou, how are you feeling?" And now I'm like, I don't even ask him how he's feeling. I'm trying to get him to think of something else.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's right. That's how the whole music thing came up. I was like, "Hey, what the fuck am I going to do with these, 30 songs I got?"
Yeah.
Well, you should get the other guys together, and we should go do this. At least you got them talking about something else.
Yeah.
It could be very punk rock if you to like somehow get him on stage and feed him a little bit, and he'll throw up. And then it'll be very Sid Vicious. Well, I'm just trying to think on the bright side here a little bit. Like
if he can't throw up, he can take the feeding tube out and squeeze the bag.
See,
that would be awesome.
There's all kinds of things he could do that are different.
Yeah,
he could become a total circus act.
Oof.
I thought that's what we were at first.
Yeah, right.
Well,
we cross over into a different level here, fellas.
But yeah, so there's the benefit. I'm so happy that we got to put it together, and the bands really came and stepped up, and and there's so many people, like even with the people who couldn't do it, like they were so like they were bummed. You know what I mean? And they all had real reasons. There was no one who like couldn't do it for some bullshit.
Right.
Reason.
We all know the bullshit excuses. Oh, I got a family issue last minute. Right.
Yeah, but like Mind Force was into doing it. Tim Barry was into doing it. Snapcase, like Margie was like, they just can't get out of work. That's the whole issue. They're like, of course, they're like, we adore Lou. We would do this in a heartbeat. We just can't.
Yeah.
And so this
people have lives and families and careers and kids, and I get it. I get it. But I think we have a solid lineup.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a fun day and a fun day and night, and like it's like again you can't sit and do nothing, like you just can't.
Right. Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, like when I did the Eddie Leeway thing, and I gave, I'm not going to say how much money, but it was a lot more than I thought I was going to pull in, and I walked Tracy down the block and I gave her. I said the exact dollar amount. It was some weird number. And I told her, I was like, if it helps a little bit or if it helps a lot, I just hope it helps.
That's it.
No matter what it is. It's like, I'm not trying, if it helps a little. I can't sit back knowing, like, I hate to sound like a name dropper asshole, but, like, knowing the people that we all know, and it doesn't really take a lot. Like, I'm friends with the owner of Lucky 13. I booked like 40-something shows there at this point. The guy lets me do whatever I want. I always have a good show there. I thought about it for 30 seconds. I'm like, Howie, heavy healing. Let's just do something. If it helps a little or a lot, I can't sit knowing that I could potentially do anything and not fucking do it. I can't do that. So,
and it was simple, and and it's heartfelt, and that's a big part of this too. Is that when people like move it to a bigger venue, it's like, no, that's for you. Like,
why don't you do it? I'll give you phone numbers of people. Go set it up.
People were like, well, why don't you contact the Monarch? I was like, do we need another show there? Like,
right?
Like everybody plays there. We go, and I don't know what it's like to rent that
Me
venue or
neither.
what it
I know
costs.
nothing about that.
And-
It's a great room. I've
Right.
seen great shows there. I don't know nothing about the way they run shit.
But
I don't
Lucky
know.
13, like to
Everything
have
is
the
there.
room is inexpensive.
Yeah.
You know, so the point being is that such a tremendous chunk goes to what we're doing as opposed to going
I'll
to
say
the
it right
venue
now. I'll say
or
it right
whatever.
now. I will pay. The only thing that I pay is $300 for the day. That's it. 300
So-
bucks.
You could do the math at $50 tickets. You know, it's like,
It's easy. It's 10 grand.
yeah. And that's before shirts, before auctions, before raffle.
Yeah, extra
You know.
donations, all that stuff. So yeah,
You know what was super cool about the Irving Plaza benefit?
that was
Yeah.
one of that was one of my favorite shows I was ever at. That vibe in that room that night, I felt like it was 1995.
Yeah.
Incredible. Go on. Sorry to cut you off. I had to get that off my chest.
The amazing thing is, anything you could think of, it was free.
Yeah.
The club was free. The people worked for free,
Yeah.
and that was pretty damn nice.
Yeah,
And that's hard to
Incredible.
do at a venue like that because it was a weekend night, right? And like they want to
Well,
fucking
that was actually supposed to be a date for a Sick of It All, Scratch the Surface, whatever year
anniversary,
So-
whatever. Yeah.
So when this happened, we canceled everything, and Stormy was like, "How about I hold that date?"
Keep the
that would
date.
have been
yeah.
30 years. That would have been 30 years, right?
Yeah, something like that.
I think more.
94.
No, you're talking. From the album. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So it would have been like basically 30-year anniversary show for the Scratch Surface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what was supposed to happen, and then when we canceled everything, Stormy was like, "I'm just going to hold on to the venue."
Smart.
He's a very smart person. And
Yeah, well,
she's the one who got everything for free. She was
Yeah.
like, "I can't believe," but even people, from the corporate world are like, "Yeah, I grew up with Sick of It All.
Right.
Yeah, let's do this for free."
Isn't it like a union venue also?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, curfew for sure, right?
Yeah. Yeah. They run a tight ship. Oh, it's not like, if you don't have like a little VIP thing, you're not getting nowhere. Like it's run corporate.
Yeah, it's
like,
pro.
legit. It's pro.
Yeah. And it's it's what was that?
Who sets up the shows? I mean, like, who runs all the shows these days?
Well, I mean, like Narc is
Nation?
one of the people
Live
that
Nation.
yeah. So they're the the owner
So-
and the whole thing. But the
Yeah,
thing is that
and-
Irving has people that we know are running these venues,
Yeah. So Live Nation was like, the people that were involved with the show, they were like, "Yeah, we know Sick of It All. We know
Right.
Lou." They're the ones they like, "We're going to cover
Made it
everything
happen.
that." Yeah.
That's awesome. That actually crossed my mind. I wondered that because I booked shows and stuff. I wondered wonder how much it was like just to fucking have the place. You know what I mean? That's awesome that it was for nothing.
Yeah.
That's
And it's
incredible.
again, it's just goes back to like the outpouring and people just willing to do stuff, and it's
Yeah.
it's really kind of still amazing to me, and the fact that here we are sort of still in it, some deeper than others, but we're all just going for it and like whatever we can do, and if it's 10 years from now we'll do it again, and like it's just that's the way it is.
Yeah, man. 100%. So if there's anybody listening, put a show together.
Do
No matter where
something.
you do something, anything. You don't have to get fucking giant bands to play. Do something, anything.
Yeah,
It's
if
like-
you could donate, if you could do a show and the show, like you could donate $100 from the show, it's $100 that we did, people didn't have before.
Whatever it is.
And I was
at the
going
end
to
of the
ask
day, you all have a good time at that show. The money goes to a good cause. Everyone wins.
Yeah,
This all started happening. I got a message on Instagram from the Glasgow Punks, okay, from Glasgow, Scotland. The guy was like, "Hey, Pete, we're setting up a show, local bands, this, and that." I was like, okay, cool. I
Yeah.
didn't know nothing about it. And then I see it on the GoFundMe, 900 and something bucks, Glasgow Pumps. Like, that's cool.
It's
as
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. And then it's worldwide, you know, which is the other thing.
Yeah.
But I was going to ask you, Pete, like Lou told me that the best place for people to donate is to the Sweet Relief Fund at this point. That's like seems to be where is best for people to donate. Is that accurate?
Yeah. Because it's all, that is all set up. If a bill comes in that the insurance companies don't cover, they immediately pay.
Right.
Like but if something comes to Lou's house, like a bill, Lou takes a screenshot of it and they send it to Sweet Relief and they immediately pay it.
And the GoFundMe is still active.
Yeah, it's
right.
Every day there's money. Danny Biohazard just auctioned off
his drums.
Drum kit.
Yeah. Yeah. And he put the money in that. Pretty damn nice. That's a nice guy, that Danny.
Oh, for sure.
Danny's a good dude.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll when we put this up on our socials, when this thing is ready to be seen, we'll make sure.
A couple days. Once we
we'll
wrap it
include
up,
all the stuff like for donations.
All right, you could edit this out. Are we going to do this much longer?
It's up to Jimmy. I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to talk about.
This episode?
Yeah, he's sick of us, is what he's saying.
No, I kind of have to get going.
No, that's fine. No, I that's fine. We're not gonna hold you hostage, Pete. But no, I think that we covered basically all the ground that we intended on. No, Howie?
I think we did, and what it is that we love this guy, and basically that's what it's about. And I feel like, and I'm not doing anything that I'm doing because of it. I feel like I owe him, for the music alone,
Well,
and the band alone.
How you just said, I love this guy. I never told my brother I loved him until a few minutes before he went into surgery. Okay.
How about that?
Cancer. And just the other day when I was leaving to go back home after visit, I gave him a hug. I said, Lou, I love you. He's like, I love you too. And
that's awesome.
Hey, we're tough guys.
I was going to say, you're such tough guys. You can't say love.
Right.
Hey, I told my dad I loved him a few years ago, and he was like, "Oh
yeah." So that's where you get it from. And
awesome.
Pete, anything you want to say in closing here to people that are going to see this? Whatever.
Hardcore helps. Okay, it helps your mind and it helps its community, and that's what's been stuck in my head lately. I was like, yeah, hardcore really helps in every aspect in my life. I know that. It gave me my friends. It gave me my career. I got to see the world. It's great.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
I do.
Thanks everybody who's bought T-shirts, bought the hoodies, donated drums, donated guitars, donated money, wrote Lou, text message Lou, prayed in a dark room, talking to nobody, asking for help for Lou. Thanks to everybody. All right. Yeah. That's what I want to say.
Yeah.
Thanks for the help. And we will be back. All right.
Damn right. Awesome. Pete, get out of here. You got things to do. We love you. We love your brother. We love the band, and everything will be fine.
I got to get to the gym. I'm like,
of course. I skipped on the gym today for doing this, and it's like 9 degrees out. So
don't you go after hours, Pete, right? Before and after?
The gym closes in 5 minutes, and I have my own key, so I could play The Exploited as loud as I want over the speakers.
Nice.
And there's not someone, hey, I hear you're in a band. And it's just I'm trying to do something.
Yeah, I'm trying to do something.
I'm trying to live
now. I'm trying to do something.
That's right. Dude, all right. Go work out, enjoy your workout, and we'll be in touch soon. The only thing I want to tell everybody, and I hate to be this asshole, just follow me on Instagram at official Brooklyn Blast Furnace. That's where all the show updates, everything will be. That's it. That's all I got.
All right.
All right. Love you guys.
See ya.
See ya. Later, fellas.
See ya.
See you later, man.